I dyed my hair blue so my boss would stop blaming me for the hair found in customers' food. I worked at a family restaurant called Mel's Kitchen, where the owner, Tom, was absolutely convinced that every hair found in the food was mine. It didn't matter that we had about 8 other employees with the same brown hair as mine. No. According to Tom, I was the one shedding hair. The first time it happened, a lady found a long brown hair in her pancakes. Tom immediately approached me in front of the entire kitchen and said, "Emma, you need to wear a hairnet or you're fired." I thought, well, whatever. So I started wearing the ridiculous hairnet every shift. But then it happened again. Every time someone complained about hair in their food, Tom would point at me and threaten to dock my pay. I told him over and over that it wasn't me because, well, I was wearing a hairnet. But he would just shake his head and say I was being careless. The other waiters started looking at me strangely, like I was some kind of health code violator. The breaking point came on a busy Saturday morning. A businessman ordered Eggs Benedict and found not one, but 3 brown hairs tangled in his hollandaise sauce. He was furious and threatened to call the health department. Tom burst into the kitchen, his face red and sweaty, and yelled at me in front of everyone. "Emma, that's it. One more hair complaint and you're gone." I was so frustrated I almost cried right there. I knew for certain those hairs weren't mine because I had it pulled back in a tight bun under that stupid hairnet, but Tom didn't realize this. That's when I noticed something that filled me with rage. Sarah, one of the cooks, was standing right behind the grill with her long brown hair completely loose, not even a ponytail in sight. She wasn't wearing any kind of hair protection, but here's the catch. Tom didn't say a word to her because she was his niece. That night I went to CVS and bought the brightest blue dye I could find, like an electric blue, the kind that screams, "Look at me," from across the room. I dyed my entire head in my small apartment bathroom, leaving blue stains all over the sink and probably on my security deposit. Monday morning I arrived at work looking like a punk. Tom looked at me strangely but didn't say anything. I put on my hairnet as always and got to work. Around lunchtime, an elderly couple ordered the special meatloaf. 10 minutes later they called me over and there it was, a long brown hair on the mashed potatoes. I just watched, and there it was, a long strand of brown hair on the mashed potatoes. I just watched. My heart raced, but not from nervousness. It was pure adrenaline, the kind you feel when you finally have the proof you've been waiting for months. For the first time since I dyed my hair blue, I had concrete, irrefutable evidence that it had never been my hair in the food. I looked at the elderly couple waiting for a solution. The lady had a disgusted look, pushing the plate aside. The husband shook his head, clearly disappointed. Normally, I would call Tom discreetly. He would come to the table, humiliate me in front of the customers, and I would swallow it once again. But today would be different. I felt my hands trembling, not from fear, but from anticipation. I took the plate carefully, as if it were precious criminal evidence, because that's exactly what it represented, proof of my innocence and the systematic hypocrisy I had been suffering. I walked slowly toward the counter, where Tom was reviewing some orders. I realized the other employees noticed something different in my posture. Maria, the oldest waitress, looked at me with curiosity. Carlos, the cook, looked up from the grill. And Sarah? Sarah was there, working on the griddle with her brown hair swaying freely, without any concern for hygiene. She didn't even notice what was about to happen. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Months of public humiliation, months of being treated like a problematic employee, months of having my competence questioned for something I had never done. All of that was about to end. I stopped right in the center of the dining room, where all the customers could see and hear me. The restaurant was full for Monday lunch. Perfect. More witnesses, better. "Tom," I shouted, with a calm voice but loud enough for half the customers to hear. "I need you to come here and solve one more of my hair problems in the food." He approached with that arrogant confidence as always.